So thank you for joining me, Trent. It's the new year. People have a lot of, goal setting around buying a new home. How's the market?
Great. Happy New Year. Certainly happy to be here again, Kim. Let me start off by saying Trent Turner, branch manager, Family First Funding, NMLS 2078583. For those who want to know, we think that the market is doing really well in terms of interest rates. Even though the Fed has raised rates, some products you're seeing a contraction of where interest rates are, but in general, they've gone up, they've come down. Ultimately, the next 3 to 4 months probably have a rocky road ahead, but we have multiple solutions for clients to kind of navigate and develop a strategy to help them get the best deal on purchasing their home or investment property.
Yep, and I think that's the great thing about us having these conversations is that education and knowledge from someone that actually has the information versus just kind of hearing it secondhand and third hand. I think that is ultimately the value that we're giving to our clients. So for people that are out there dating the rate, what's happening with rates and what are your suggestions for people that might just be kind of waiting to see what's happening with the rates and not jumping into the market just based off of the rate?
Yep. So my opinion solely is this isn't advice for everyone to go out and purchase a home. But I think now is a great opportunity to purchase because you have negotiating power. A year ago, most sellers weren't offering closing cost contribution. Now the majority of the contracts I'm seeing have seller paying, if not all, a portion of the closing costs. In addition, we talked about in the last call, the 2-1 buy down. But we think overall, towards the end of the year, certainly in the beginning of next year, there'll be some really good opportunities. If you were to purchase now under higher rate, there'll be some really good opportunities to refinance into lower rates in the near future. I don't have a crystal ball. I can tell you exactly when, but now I think personally, I'm in the market searching for investment properties. There are not as many people out looking right now. I think this is a really good opportunity to buy. You have that bargaining power, but everybody's different. Would love to speak with everyone and go over what their situation is and advise them on where they would be.
Awesome. I know recently we had an increase in non-conforming rates. First of all, tell everyone what a non-conforming rate is and what that price range is, and then also what the increase will do for their additional buying power.
So conforming is essentially a conforming loan limit is within the government, the sponsors, government-backed groups that purchase mortgages from banks and do that type of thing. But essentially, when you have a conforming loan, your down payment, you then qualify for the lower down payments, the 3%, 3.5%, 5% down payments. Typically, again, every situation is different. The conforming loan limit just got increased to $726,200. It's an increase of $79,000. So essentially, the federal government, Fannie, Freddie, HUD got together and decided, hey, home prices are much higher now, especially in areas like Atlanta, the Bay Area, LA, New York. We want to give individuals an opportunity to buy a conforming loan where you typically get a lower interest rate product with a lower down payment. So that's really big news. Before, if you're a middle class or upper middle class and you see a really nice home in a good area, that home was over 646-ish thousand. You then had to bring 10, 15, 20% to closing. Now, up to the 726, you can bring as little as 3% depending on your situation, or potentially 0% if you qualify for those type of programs. But really, really big game changer and really good tool to get into some of the more in demand areas where the price point may be a bit higher.
And explain to everyone what a jumbo.
So jumbo is anything over the conforming limit. So it's just a word we use in the mortgage industry, real estate industry. So if you were to purchase something, as mentioned, conforming loan limit is now 726. Let's say you want to purchase a home for, $800,000 and you want to put X amount down. If the loan amount that you're taking out is above the 726, not the purchase price, then that is considered a jumbo mortgage because it does not conform to what the what we call the GSEs, the Fannie Mae, the Freddie Macs, what they purchase the loans for in the secondary market. And that's a conversation for a whole nother day. We can talk about that. I'm sure a lot of people want to know about it, but jumbo is essentially is more for your higher income, higher net worth individuals. They're purchasing bigger homes and they have liquid to put down a larger down payment.
Okay, awesome. So let's dispel a myth real quick.
Yeah.
Are there down payment or loans with down payments at 0% down, meaning 100% financing,
right,
and under, like you said, the 3.5% that people might typically see for an FHA loan? Because a lot of people, when you talk to them for the first time about buying a house, first thing it says, well, I got to put 20% down. And I'm like, no, unless you're an investor, right? And you're buying, investment properties and things like that. That's when you get into that 20, 30, 35% down. Yeah. Or if you can't, show statements, whether it's taxes or bank statements or something like that, then you get into, those higher down payments. But for the, everyday person that, has, a great credit score, et cetera, tell us about those loans that have a lower down payment in general. You don't have to go into detail on all of them. But...
Yeah, you sound like you know what you're talking about. So really quick and briefly, the 0% down payment programs come to mind. One, you have VA. So if you're a veteran and you have eligibility, you're not required typically to put down anything. You can 0% down and purchase. The VA will back 100% loan for you. Also HUD, if you were USDA, certain areas qualify for it, but you can get up to 100% financing in USDA areas. And then there are even private label programs that offer down payment assistance and down payment grants that can reduce your down payment to 0%. Additionally, the last product we'll talk about, if you're a medical professional, a doctor, or different, we have 100% financing programs for you as well. Moving on from that, conventional can be as little as 3% down for first-time home buyers. First-time home buyers meaning you haven't owned a home in the last 2 years. If you have, the down payment is 5%. And then, of course, FHA, the minimum down payment is 3.5%. But there are so many down payment assistance programs out there that we'd be glad to help everyone with. And then even if you're buying a second home, the minimum down payment on that second home can be as little as 10% down. So you do not need 20% down typically to purchase a home. I get that question a lot.
Yeah, right. It's like this like urban legend.
Yeah.
And besides calling me, how can people reach you?
They can reach me at Banking on Real Estate on Instagram. My direct phone number is 601-291-3135. And you can email me, whatever. But if you get at me at my phone number or my Instagram, I'll reply.
Awesome. Thanks, Trent. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
2023, I'll be talking to lenders, some of my vendor partners, just to give you a better idea of how the process works. So buying a home, selling a home. I think education is very important at this time to keep buyers and sellers informed about what's happening in the market. So look out for those videos. Thanks.